For years now, Antarctica has been shrouded in mystery. Antarctica is not owned by one nation, but various different researchers and scientists call this place home, and over the years installations have allowed them to carry out their research in the area, many of which have led to teams making fascinating discoveries. Antarctica is also known among certain groups as being a place that has many strange mysteries. For example, in recent years, people using Google Earth have claimed that many strange artifacts can be found across the continent, some of which include giant pyramids, large underwater structures, which some say is proof of ancient civilizations, and also giant structures that appear to resemble modern-day recreations of unidentified flying objects, with many of them being in the shape of a disc. It's important to note though that scientists and researchers don't accept these theories, and say that nothing strange is going on down in Antarctica. One of the most recent discoveries to be shared online is that of a giant object seen in the snow, with one person saying that it looks like a giant robot. The idea of there being a large 20-meter tall robot in Antarctica has split people, with some saying that different programs are happening right now in Antarctica, and that people have no idea that these are going on, while others said that it's unlikely that this is what we're looking at, and say that the melting ice around this rock just makes it look like it's in the shape of a humanoid. Regardless, amateur researchers have said that for years now whispers of secret programs being conducted in the region have been leaked online, with some of these leaks reporting that officials have found ancient technology, large structures and even unidentified flying objects. One person using Google Earth was able to measure this structure and said that it comes in at 20 meters. One believer said the following about the discovery: "Let's just say for instance that this is real. What better place to build a giant robot than Antarctica? It's the perfect place to do this as no one would know this was happening. I know some have said that these government installations are put here so they're out of the way of the general public, and this makes sense as it would allow them to conduct research without anyone knowing." End quote. Some though disagreed with this statement, and said that although they believe that strange things are happening down in Antarctica, they think this one is a bit of a reach. As mentioned before though, one of the most interesting discoveries that's often shared around is that of large craft seen beneath the ice, with some saying that due to melting ice in glaciers, some of these unidentified crafts are now being exposed. Although megalithic structures found poking out of the ice might be hard to explain, perhaps a more mysterious discovery for researchers is that of the supposed findings of unidentified flying objects, which can allegedly be found all across the Antarctic continent, and that have been sighted via the use of satellite surveillance. First found by internet theorists, online images have surfaced of flying saucer-like shapes hiding within the ice caves and remote areas across the Antarctic. Further satellite images can also be seen of large outcroppings that many theorists have speculated are possible crashed spaceships, of which can be seen casting large shadows. Enthusiasts have also said that government officials have found evidence of these trapped unidentified flying objects deep within the glacial formations, and that they're trapped there waiting to be uncovered by research teams stationed on the southern continent. Various UFO sites have claimed that a UFO crashed into the Antarctic snow, and that it can be seen surrounded by tanks. When the photographs were shared, people started to give their opinions on what they thought the object was. Some claim that the object in the snow is different to the tanks that can be seen next to it, and that it does look like the tanks were sent there to investigate what was going on. The object looks to be disc in shape, and one thing that's confused those who have seen the images is the presence of these tanks, with some saying that if the tanks weren't there this could be ruled out as perhaps a piece of snow or ice, but due to them being there it adds an air of mystery. Some went on to say that at the end of the skid you can see an unidentified object, and that again this does look to be disc in shape. For years there's been rumours that UFOs have been discovered embedded in the ice at Antarctica, and that this is one of the reasons why there's a lot of activity going on down there. UFO researchers have gone on to say that the high military presence here comes down to there being a lot of UFO sightings in this area, saying that bases were built here purely to investigate these sorts of claims. As of right now though, the government has never admitted to finding UFOs in Antarctica, and say that any claims of there being UFOs in this region is just stories. When people zoomed in on the supposed tanks though, some noted that you couldn't see any tracks in the snow, and said that due to their weight you should be able to see tracks. However, some UFO researchers hit back at these claims, and said that a small snowstorm would easily cover them up, saying it would only take a few hours for the tracks to be hidden underneath a new batch of snow. One UFO researcher said the following about the object: "I think that it measures at least 200 feet in diameter. It could be even more looking at it compared to the tanks. There's a reason why those tanks are there, and I think that they're collecting this UFO. We've heard many stories about governments being interested in these crafts, and I think this is one of those cases where we're seeing a real down UFO." End quote. So what do you make of this discovery? Do you think it shows a giant robot, or is this just melting ice in the shape of a humanoid? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.